Hello, my name is Heather and welcome to my YouTube channel where I am today going to be sharing my first video piece of content for Vlogmas, or since I'm here on YouTube, I guess I'm technically going to call it #Vlogmas. So for those of you who don't know what exactly Vlogmas or Vlogmas is, it's essentially when bloggers or YouTubers share a piece of content every single day the month of December leading up until Christmas Eve. So today I am sharing here on YouTube a little bit about my most recent post on my blog. So most of my Vlogmas is going to be featured on my blog, Storms and Silver Linings, but to mix things up and diversify the content that I'm sharing, I thought it might be fun to have a little bit of video content as well. And what I thought might be fun to talk about today was the blog post I posted yesterday, which talks all about, I guess, like the relationship that my Christmas spirit has with my mental health, because I think that's something people don't really address. Like, we talk about mental health a lot in today's day and age, which is so good. I believe that speaking about it and having those open conversations is incredibly important. However, I think that sometimes a lot of people, and I've done this too, have this misconception that if you're struggling with your mental health or if you're going through a tough time, you can't be happy. The two are mutually exclusive in some way, and I personally believe that couldn't be further from the truth, because I am all about the Christmas spirit. Ask anyone who knows me. I'm basically Buddy the Elf. I get really into it. I decorate early. I really do try to extend the season. However, I do have times throughout the Christmas season that I find it kind of hard, and some of that's related to my grief because of the loss of my mom. A lot of it's related to the fact that I feel like I've lost a lot. When my parents split up and then my mom died shortly thereafter, I lost my past, and I don't have a family or a home that I go home to. Like, I do have my extended family. My grandparents, my aunts and uncles and cousins are great. I'm not visiting back in New Brunswick this Christmas. However, that's a very different experience than going to your own home. I don't have that anymore, and the loss of that can be really tough around the holidays. But then, of course, there's the part of it that's just plain mental health. I struggle with anxiety really badly sometimes, and I've come a long way with it, so I'm very grateful for that. However, at the holidays, sometimes it does ramp up a little bit, just when I'm busy, go, and I'm not taking time to take care of myself. And really making time to be quiet and peaceful and calm and just settle into the moment, because there is so much going on. And while I love all of the activities, probably more than the average person, sometimes I realize being overscheduled, even when it's being overscheduled in things I love, can have a negative impact on my mental health. So I wrote a little bit about this on my blog yesterday, and if you haven't read that, I would encourage you to go check it out. And essentially my goal in sharing this is that I wanted to kind of put that message out there that Christmas spirit and all the joy and happiness of the Christmas season, it can exist alongside anxiety or depression, or maybe it's not a mental health issue, maybe it's just you're feeling a little down or sad, because it's not always necessarily a mental health issue. Sometimes you just have a tough day, and having a tough day doesn't mean you're void of the Christmas spirit. A couple of weeks ago, I was going through just, I don't know, it was like a bad day after a bad day after a bad day. And I felt like I'd lost my Christmas joy, and I kept saying to Mac, and this sounds so cheesy, so please bear with me, I was like, please help me find my Christmas joy. Bless his heart, I married a great man, because he was very committed. Once I said that to him, he like kept doing things for me that were Christmassy and saying, oh, has this reignited your Christmas joy? Lo and behold, it eventually did. And I started to kind of feel in the spirit again, which is obviously wonderful in every way. However, I know that between now and December 25th, there's probably going to be another couple bad days that come along, and I'm going to have to deal with them. It's just the reality. I don't know. I think there's a lot of people kind of make a reference. It's like the image of a candle in the darkness and how a single candle can light the darkness. And I always kind of think of that as like almost the juxtaposition of the light and the darkness. It's like the candle seems brighter because it's in the darkness. However, there's the flip side to that as well, which is like the darkness almost seems darker when it's compared to the light. And I think sometimes we see a little bit of that during Christmas time, because we can be so happy. We're surrounded by so many people that we love. The good times are rolling. It's just, I don't know, you're making all of the best memories. However, the people we are missing, or the things that we've lost, or the things that we lack, it's almost like there's a spotlight shining right on those places in our life that hurt, because we have, I don't know, it's like all the goodness reminds us of all the goodness that once was, that was gone, that's now gone. At least that's how it is for me. I don't know, this could be totally unrelatable, but I personally do feel that quite strongly in the holidays. So that despite the fact that I might be so happy and so joyful, I also feel the missing my mom, and feel the grief, and feel the despair that I sometimes can, I don't know, it's definitely a feeling of despair that I sometimes become overwhelmed with when I look back on what I used to have that's now gone. So sometimes that can just be really tough, and you just have to power through, which I do, fortunately, and I'm very blessed to be able to do so, largely in part because I do have really good people around me who I'm comfortable talking to about these things. And I know that's often the hardest thing for people, is your fear of judgment, fear of what people will say or what they'll think about you. If your people in your life are, I don't know, judgmental in that way, I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that. If you're watching this video, you probably know me. Please know you can reach out to me. I am always a listening ear, because I think having someone you can talk to is the most important thing. But also, I learned so much through all of the years I've spent in therapy and all of those tools. I had one therapist who said I was in therapy to get a toolkit for life, and honestly, that's, I think, one of the best descriptions of therapy that I've ever heard, because it really is. So I feel like through all my years of therapy, I developed a toolkit that gets me through all the seasons, including the holiday season, when I'm having one of those tough days. So I just wanted to hop on here, elaborate a little bit about my blog post from yesterday, and say if you are dealing with mental health getting in the way of your Christmas spirit, or just maybe having a couple of tough days through the holiday season, please know you're not alone. Please know it doesn't make you a Scrooge. You can still be just like me, Buddy the Elf, and still have a rough day. It's totally normal, and I think sometimes, I don't know, there's this image that that's not a reality, that those two experiences cannot coexist. Please, that is not true. They can coexist, they do. I am living proof, and if you are too, like I said, please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need a listening ear. Always happy to chat. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned, because I'm sharing posts every day, by blog or here, also on Instagram, Storms and Silver Linings, all about the storms and the silver linings that I'm going through this December leading up to Christmas. Alrighty, Merry Christmas everybody, have a good night!